Hello, friends, and welcome. Welcome to your July Taroscopes with me, Intuitive Rene. Quite excited to bring July Taroscopes to you. Let me just take a second before we get into too many details to explain what a Taroscope is, how it works, and why you should be watching. So Taroscopes are something I release once a month. I do Taroscopes in the last week of each month for the month ahead, and I record 12 individual readings, one reading for each sign of the zodiac. Each reading uses the same spread or the same layout, but I change, obviously I shuffle and draw cards on camera so that the reading is completely clear to each one of you. And whatever your sun sign is, or if you're interested, you can do your moon sign and your rising sign as well, but your sun sign is the main one that the Taroscopes is done around. So whatever your sun sign is, you basically go to that sign of the zodiac and you watch the video, and it gives you guidance, detailed guidance for the month ahead. So in this particular case, we're looking at the month of July 2022, and I'm going to stick to the same format or layout or spread that I used in the last couple of months, because it seems to give substance. It seems to give quite a lot of information. The idea behind these Taroscopes is not so much fortune telling, because that's not really something I enjoy doing in these videos. What I enjoy, or I set the intention, is that these videos be a guide to help you navigate the month in whichever way you need to, because these are for the collective, because it's for everybody who has Aries or Pisces or Scorpio, whatever the zodiac sign is. That's a lot of you, okay? So to take the whole universe and everybody on it and categorize them into 12 little groups, is very broad. So I try not get too specific in the readings. I try and keep it as open-minded as possible, but really just to help you navigate, to give you the insight, the guidance, and the motivation that you need to handle the month in the best way that you can. So it will be applicable to so many different things that you deal with. And I get a lot of people messaging me saying, how did you get it to be so specific to my own circumstances? And really what that is because the reading is for the collective, a general, you are able to take the situations and to almost translate them into your circumstances. And it does fit, it does work. So that is the motivation or the idea behind the Taroscope. So I do record one intro. So this that you're listening to right now, I stick in the front of each of the individual readings just to save me having to say this 12 times. So I record 12 individual readings, and I put them up as 12 separate videos. So if you are watching whatever zodiac sign you are watching right now, but you want to jump to another one to check on your moon sign, or to check a family member or a significant other's zodiac for the month, the Taroscope, if you open up the description below, you will see I have links to each of the 12 zodiacs for July 2022. For this month, though, I am changing the cards that I work with. Every month I like to change cards because I like to play with my different cards. So this month I am my main tarot deck that I'm going to work with is the Lightseers Tarot. Lightseers Tarot, created by Rene Donnelly. She's an amazing, beautiful soul, beautiful energy. So she created this deck, and I call this my workhorse. It's a deck I reach for whenever I need a little bit of guidance, and for most of my client readings it is a staple in my collection. I'm going to pair that up with another deck by Rene Donnelly, by the same creator of the Lightseers, and that is the Sacred Creators Oracle. And this is going to set out our theme, or give us our tone for the month ahead from the Sacred Creators Oracle. And at the end of the reading, before we finish off, I'm going to finish off with a card from the Earthcraft Oracle as well. So all in all, we're going to have 11 cards that we're going to deal with for each sign of the zodiac. So that's detailed. That's giving you quite a lot of information. The video stays up on YouTube all the time, so you can come back to it as often as you need to. So if you want to say, a couple of days into the month, if you want to come and just do a check-in on how you're navigating, what are the things that you should be focusing on, and just double checking yourself, you're welcome to do that. Do it again in the middle of the month, and then just before the end of the month as well. Just like as you are listening to me now, your June Taroscopes are still up for viewing. So maybe pop over and see how you did. What were you supposed to be focusing on versus what you were focusing on? How far off are you? And then when you look at July, it'll put a lot of things into perspective for you as well. Friends, these videos, I love bringing them to you, but it would be nice if you could just show some love and support the channel to make sure that that I keep coming back and bringing you this content by giving the video a thumbs up, and comment below is always so valued and appreciated. And if you haven't already done so, please do click that subscribe button. So I'm going to stop chatting and let's get straight into your reading. Pisces, let's get into your reading and let's see what the month of July has in store for you. I am shuffling the Sacred Creators Oracle. I'm going to draw just a single card from this deck, and this card is going to set the tone of our reading today. So Sacred Creators, we're looking at Pisces energy. We're looking at July 2022. Right, I'm happy with that shuffle. Let's cut the deck there. And we have a card. So Sacred Creators Oracle, setting the tone for our reading today. Let's see what we've got. One step ahead is all you need. I love that. One step ahead is all you need. You know, and isn't that just so relevant and so appropriate? Because I feel like all of us at the moment, and not just Pisces energy, but everybody, we're trying to do three things, okay? We're trying to manage so much and do so much and accomplish so much. We don't just think about the one step. We're thinking 3 steps ahead. We're always thinking 3 steps ahead. We're always thinking that we have to be on top of our game, on top of things, and we need to be thinking ahead, and we need to be thinking about tomorrow and next week and next month and next year. But actually, all we need to be doing is taking 1 step at a time. 1 step at a time is all we need. So this is definitely setting the tone that we don't necessarily have to rush anything at the moment. In this particular reading, let's take our time. Let's understand things one step at a time. Let's do things in a logical, systematic process. Here I have the Light Seers Tarot. I'm just going to give it a shuffle while I continue talking about one step is all you need. And I often hear from clients as well where, you know, we're saying that it's time for change, it's time for doing something a bit differently. And the word the comment I get back a lot from clients is how? How do I start? Where do I start? You know, what do I do? I don't know how to start that. I don't know how to initiate that. I don't know what to do. And actually, one step is all you need. So that first step is often the hardest, but it's also the one that makes the most difference. It's also the one that makes the change more possible. When we're afraid of taking that first step, when we're afraid of doing that first thing, you know, we then stand or sit or lie in limbo. We're then at a point in our lives where we're just not progressing. We're just not moving forward. We're stuck. But sometimes it's just that one step that is needed in order to change our path, to change our direction, to change our behavior, and to bring about everything that we want and everything that we need. Just as, even in this particular situation right now, you know, one step is all you need. We just need to start. We just need to say the first words. We just need to initiate the first thing, and thereafter we are in momentum. And as soon as that momentum kicks in, as soon as that drive and that momentum works, everything just flows. And this is what we have to realize what life is like. So Pisces, this is Spirit saying to you, you only need one step. Don't think about anything more than that. Don't overanalyze. Don't do more. Just accept one step is all you need at this stage. I have one more deck. One more. It's 3, but it's 1. All right, this is the Earthcraft Oracle. And I'm shuffling. I'm going to draw just a single card from this deck, which we will read right at the end as a sort of final message and confirmation from Spirit for Pisces energy, July 2022. Let's have a look and see what comes through. Okay. There it is. One card. Put the deck away. So Pisces, we have got all the cards laid out. Not all that neat and tidy. I do apologize. I'm terrible at that. But let's get into your reading and let's have a look and see what July has in store for you. So, one step ahead is all you need. This card is going to show us who you are. It's going to describe you as you step into, as you take that one step into the month of July. So who are you? You are the world. So sorry, the Wheel of Fortune. I'm getting my cards wrong. You are the Wheel of Fortune. So what I love about this card, we have these what look like casino chips. Okay, so it's not about gambling, but it is about karma. She also has around her neck, if the camera will focus on it, she has her lucky dice. The other thing that I always notice with this card, besides for the fact that she's balancing on one leg, but she has this kind of white energy coming off her this side and this black energy coming off her this side. Those are the colors of yin and yang. It's the colors of night and day, light and dark. And she is in the middle of that. So she's using these energies to help her maintain her balance. If we look at these wheels, if we look at these going to call them discs. If we look at these discs, you can see that they're not standing very steady. They're very unstable. And all she's doing is constantly adjusting herself, depending on the movement of what's happening here. But she also realizes that she is in control, even though she isn't in control. Do you understand that? She has no control over what these discs do. And you can see behind her, there's definitely storm clouds brewing. Well, clear skies, and we've got storm clouds down the back there. So the Wheel of Fortune is the card of karma. It's also the card that says you have no control. You just have to, one step at a time, and you will deal with things as they come up. This is the card that says to you, you're not going to have a lot of insight into what's coming up in the future. It could go either way. It could go right. It could go wrong. It could go up. It could go down. It could be clear. It could be stormy. It could be lucky for you. It could be unlucky for you. This is the card of trusting the universe, and what will be will be. So Pisces, this is Spirit saying, considering our tone of the reading, if I can say, is one step is all you need. And this is Spirit saying that you're stepping into the month of July exactly in that way. Not really knowing what's going to happen, not really knowing what you're working towards or what you're doing. You're sort of just dealing with stuff as it comes up, which is great, I suppose. We'll find out. Our next card, Pisces, is the card around the actual theme of the month. So what is Spirit saying? What is the overall theme of July for you? And we have got the Queen of Pentacles. She's got such a beautiful energy about her, doesn't she? She's so calm. She's so serene. She's so peaceful, and she's yet so confident. She doesn't have arrogance. She's not full of herself. She has this quiet strength about her. She knows her worth. She knows exactly who she is, and she doesn't need any external validation. She doesn't need anybody telling her anything different. She understands her worth. She understands her place, her purpose, her function. And I think, Pisces, the way that I'm interpreting that for each of you for July is that that's who you are. You need to have that quiet strength, that kind of aura about you where you know your worth, you know who you are and what you're about, that you don't need external validation. You know exactly what you can and can't do, what you're capable of, what you're not capable of, but also your morals around right and wrong, around what chances and risks you're prepared to take and what chances and risks you're not prepared to take. So your theme for the month is being that confident, that secure in yourself and in all your activities and actions for the month ahead. Next card is a card that's going to identify what it is that you will successfully accomplish in the month. So something that you will absolutely achieve during the month, and it is the Empress. Isn't she gorgeous? Like, I'm too close, the camera battles with the lighting. So I won't come too close. All right. So the Empress, here she is pregnant belly, but she is pregnant with the earth. So she is mother of all, mother to everything, mother to everyone. Her blue shawl over here is actually a school of fish. And fish is always a symbol of abundance, a symbol of plentiful. And isn't she just gorgeous on her own? Okay, so the Empress is about nurture. It is about taking care of. It is about realizing the role that you play in everything. Okay, so Pisces, this is Spirit saying to you that you need to understand that as much as one step ahead is all you need, you have the whole world. You are responsible for everything and everyone in your world, in your life, but you do it with such a calmness, with such a quietness, with such a strength and inner strength. You don't necessarily need everybody to know what you're getting up to. You just quietly get on and do it. You trust that the universe has got your back. You trust that you have sufficient of whatever anybody needs to give them whatever they need. And you also believe in abundance. You believe that the universe is taking care of you and that there is enough to go around for everybody in your life. And I think that's really amazing. So as a card of what you will achieve everything you set your mind to, but it all starts with one step at a time, and knowing your strength, knowing your true worth, if I can put it that way, and not feeling like you need to hurry things up. Pregnancy takes time. You don't fall pregnant today and have a baby tomorrow. There's a process that has to go through, and you understand that, and you're prepared to nurture throughout that whole process. And that is what this month is about. You will achieve everything that you set in motion, everything that you bring to life, everything that you initiate, everything that you start, you will achieve, you will succeed at by doing and focusing only on one step at a time. This is going in a really good direction. So Pisces, understanding that you will achieve it all, understanding that you are confident, and understanding that you believe that things will work out the way that they need to. What is something that you should avoid so that we don't lose sight of what's important during the month of July? So something that you need to avoid: stress, worry, and anxiety, because stress, worry, and anxiety is never good for pregnancy. Okay. And I'm certainly not saying, by the way, Pisces, that any of you are going to fall pregnant. All right. Unless, of course, that is something you're working on. But this is about bringing ideas to life, bringing situations to life, bringing circumstances to life. And stress is never good for that. The Nine of Swords is often what we call the nightmare card. It's about our nightmares coming true and our fears and our insecurities coming true. Remembering this has come through in the position of what you need to avoid. So this is Spirit saying to you, Pisces, that don't focus on your insecurities. Don't focus on your fears. Don't focus on those aspects of yourself, because if you focus on them, you manifest them. If you focus on them, you make them come true. If you keep quietly confident, and if you keep your eyes closed off to the stress and to the worry, you will keep everything calm, serene, you will find your balance, and everything will work out the way that it needs to. But if you give in to this fear, if you give in to the stress, you are allowing it to have a bigger part to play in your world. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid stress, anxiety, panic, fear, avoid it as much as possible. What you should embrace instead, isn't he gorgeous? So King of Wands, Queen of Wands. Oh, sorry, Queen of Pentacles. Look at me. But don't they make just such a beautiful couple? They both have the strength. They both have the strength of character, this integrity. They both have this silent power. Okay? So he is the lion. The lion is him. They are one and the same. He is not forcing control of the lion, as the lion is not forcing suppression. Okay, so the lion is not forcing himself on him, and he's not forcing himself on the lion, but they have come to a mutual understanding. I'm not going to interfere in your life, you don't interfere in mine, but I need you, you need me. We are one and the same, but we are different. That is the energy of the King of Wands. He knows, just like our Queen of Pentacles, he knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly what he's capable of. He knows that if he has to fight the lion, he will fight the lion, but he's not going to if it's not necessary. So Pisces, this is Spirit saying to you, you need to embrace your inner strength. You need to embrace your inner courage, your inner lion, your inner tenacity. Tenacity is such a good word, okay? We need to avoid insecurity, fear, and doubt. We need to recognize that we've got a lot going on. There's a lot of things that we're working on behind the scenes that nobody's even aware of, and we will succeed at all of it. But we don't have to do it with big fanfare. We don't have to do it with big lavish experiences and words and statements. We're just going to tackle things one step at a time. One step at a time is all we need in order to achieve everything that we want and everything that we need in this world. So in saying that, Pisces, in saying that, we were saying about not letting our fears and insecurities get the better of us. We need to avoid that as much as possible. But this particular card is an obstacle that you can't avoid, something that you're going to have to work through, something that you're going to have to overcome during the month of July. And what we've got, and this is quite interesting, It's the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups is often, we refer to in the tarot community, we refer to it as the wishes come true card. But this is an obstacle that you need to work through, because this is, and it's interesting. Normally, I wouldn't describe this card in this way, but considering the message that's coming through, considering this is something that we need to avoid, an obstacle that you have to work through, I'm going to say to you that it's ego. She has a chest of treasures, gold, treasures, and stuff. You can see that everything she's doing is from her heart space. She has an abundance of, but look at this line over here. Can you see this line? It's like a water line. And everything that she's doing is beneath the water. It's beneath the surface. It's underneath. It's where we don't necessarily see it. Everything we have here is very open, honest, and upfront. See me as who I am. See who I am. See what I'm going through. See that, and I said, we're working quietly behind the scenes, creating, manifesting, and bringing to life opportunities and situations. So an obstacle that you need to overcome, that you have to work through during the month of July, Pisces, is making sure that everything that we're doing is not coming from a place of ego. It's not coming from a place of greed and a place of want, but from a place of integrity and a place of moral beliefs, a place of courage, and a place of, I'm doing it for the greater good of everybody. If you're doing things just purely from a place of greed, you are going to fail. You are going to not have the kind of success that you need to. We need to make sure that our fears don't take over. Okay, but from an obstacle that you absolutely need to work through. So question yourself every time you're about to do something, every time you're about to take that step, every time you're about to initiate something, ask yourself, am I doing this because it's going to help me in the long run, or am I doing it because it's going to make me look good? And if you're doing something because it makes you look good, you need to stop. You need to change that behavior, change that action, and don't follow it through, because then, remember, it's a very fine line between good and bad, right and wrong, truth, deceit. Okay, and that's exactly what this obstacle is. It's about trying to identify, are you the man or are you the lion? Are you in control, or are you being chased, or are you the chaser? You know, all of these kind of things. This is the question that you're going to have to navigate. Now, the theme for the month was about knowing your worth. And the only way that you're going to know your worth is by asking this question, asking the tough questions. Am I doing things from a place of ego, need, want, and desire, or because it's in my best interest and in the best interests of everybody around me? Gosh, this is so interesting. So, obviously, this is difficult. I mean, I'm going to be the first to admit that this is difficult. This is not easy, all right? Especially when everything's been going so smoothly and going so well. It's certainly not easy. So, the next card that we're going to look at is the support that's available to you. So as you're struggling with this, as you're facing this, as you're working through this and dealing with this, what support is available to you? And we have the beautiful Sun card. The Sun card is the card of happiness, of joy, of success, of abundance, you know, all that kind of beautiful, positive energy. And this is Spirit saying to you that if you focus on the good, if you focus on the right, if you focus on what's positive and what's abundant in your life, then you're going to be okay. It's when we focus, and that's why we needed to avoid stress, avoid our fears, and avoid our insecurities, because they will lead us to grab and to take from a place of ego. But if we focus on the positive, if we focus on all the good that we can do in this world, one step is all we need in the positive direction, in the right direction. One step is all you need to change the circumstance, to remove that so that you can feel better, stronger, and more confident in tackling whatever life is bringing to you during the month of July. Alrighty. Next card, Pisces, is steps to take, action to take. What is it that you need to initiate during the month? And we have got King of Cups, lots of King energy. It's very powerful, very powerful. But look at him, eyes closed, heart space bursting. Okay, there's all this light emanating from his heart. He is very comfortable. He is very content. Again, it's that same kind of strength, that same kind of passion and conviction that he has. He's very confident and very comfortable within himself, but he also recognizes how he is responsible for everybody else's happiness. So this is Spirit saying to you, Pisces, that And it's interesting, we've got all this fish energy. He's got a fish around his neck. She had a fish shawl around her there. There's a lot of this water energy coming through for you. So the King of Cups is somebody who understands that he holds in his hand, in his bowl, in his heart space, he holds everybody else's heart, everybody else's feelings and emotions. He recognizes that he is responsible for everybody else in his life, and he acknowledges that, he sees that, he works with that, and he certainly does not take advantage of that. So Pisces, this is Spirit saying to you, acknowledge that you have the whole world in your hand. Acknowledge that you are always thinking about, considering, and being thoughtful around everybody else's needs, wants, and desires. You're not a selfish person. You're not a greedy person, but sometimes we can, lean in that way, especially when we have a series of good luck. When we have a series of things falling into place, we tend to take more risks. We tend to take more chances. And this is Spirit saying, just recognize how many people lean on you, how many people need you, how many people rely on you. And by doing that, it may help you to prevent these from taking place. Pisces, let's have a look. Final message from Spirit. Anything else that Spirit wanted you to know here and today? All this yellow energy, can you see that? All this bright yellow energy coming through. Interesting. So what we have here is the Page of Swords, and look at her. She's multitasking. She's crossing a huge big gap, walking a very, very narrow stick. I don't know what it is. A very narrow stick. She is reading a book, gaining knowledge, gaining insight, gaining information, while holding on to all her dreams and all her ideas, while this mind chatter of birds is going crazy. She is multitasking, and you know what? She's succeeding. That, I think, is the most important thing to note here, Pisces, is that she's succeeding. She's achieving it. She's getting it right on tiptoes. She is crossing. She is learning. She is doing. She's holding on to her dreams. And this is Spirit saying that you are that person. You are a multitasker. You are somebody who can do it all at the same time and succeed. But Spirit also saying you've got to recognize the lessons, you've got to recognize the learning, you've got to recognize the opportunities, and you've got to say to yourself, you know what, I mustn't always just take for granted that I can do it. I mustn't always just assume that it's going to be easy. I need to know my worth. I need to know who's relying on me. I need to understand what it is that I'm actually capable of doing, and I mustn't have any doubt. And I need to, one step ahead is the only thing that you need to be thinking about. And if you spend the month of July focusing on that one step ahead every single time, you will succeed at everything that you have set out for yourself. Let's have a look. Our final card from the Earthcraft Oracle. Final message from Spirit. I have to giggle. I mean, isn't that just like, in a nutshell, everything that we've been saying? Isn't that like just sums it up in a perfect sentence? Accept your gifts. Accept who you are. Accept your purpose. Accept your function. Accept the role that you have, that you play in this world. Accept the fact that there are a lot of people who rely on you and that you have a lot to offer. But you must not give in to ego. You must not give in to your fears. You need to have an understanding of your strengths, your weaknesses, your abilities. And if you focus on one step ahead at a time, you will achieve absolutely everything that you've set out for yourself, that you desire for yourself. Gosh, Pisces, this is awesome. Looks like July is going to be a breeze. It looks like July is going to be awesome, easy. And it looks like you're going to find your bliss and your happiness. So Pisces, with love and blessings from my heart to yours. And until we connect again, take care.